Holly Amber Church is the composer behind the main title theme song or theme music for Guillermo del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities. I'm Matt Noble of Gold Derby, and I wanted to kick things off, Holly, by asking you, what was one of the really important things you wanted to get right with that theme music?
I wanted it to be a strong melody, first of all, because that's like one of my favorite things of a TV theme,
Mm.
is for it to be a theme. So that was the main thing I wanted to get. And then I also wanted to encompass, kind of the overall arch of the series. Like it's horror, but it's also got a lot of beauty to it. So those were my two most important things. I wanted it scary but beautiful and a memorable melody, basically.
Mm. And I guess that is sort of it. Like there is a balance between it being eerie but also inviting.
Mhm.
How do you balance those two things when approaching music or the
It's a
music?
good question. It just, it is like, I think part of it's the instrumentation that you use, which I went very traditional orchestral with it, almost a classical fill. So that helps it feel kind of beautiful. But then at times it's very dark, with the harmonies or the low strings growling and that kind of stuff, So that was kind of the way to balance it. The melody playing on the violins is sort of soaring and thematic, and then the stuff underneath it is a little bit more aggressive. So
Mm,
that was kind of how I balanced both of them.
yeah. Were there any particular challenges that you encountered in putting together this music or composing this?
Just trying to live up to trying not to disappoint everyone, I guess.
Mm,
Yeah, the timing, trying to keep the timing within the 1 minute and to match the visuals. And they were kind of changing a little bit, not a whole lot, but I would get a new cut and maybe it had changed a little. So
mm,
I would have to conform the music to it, and trying not to mess up the music and still match everything.
mm.
But overall, the team was great. It was pretty smooth.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Now, I think something interesting about uh, the theme for this show is it's an anthology series. Every episode has a different director. It tells a different story. It's got a different cast of characters and actors. So the theme is really one of the only constants on the show, the thing
Yeah.
that sort of binds it all together. So I guess how did that inform how you approach this piece of music, knowing that it would be
Yeah.
one of the only common things?
Yeah. What was interesting was I didn't see any of the episodes before I did this,
Mm,
which I think was good because I like to overthink things. And probably had I seen all of them, they were all different. My mind probably would have tried to find a way to like incorporate every single one of it into it. I was only given the actual visuals of the main title,
mhm,
so it was just based on those visuals, And again, it was that mix of it's dark, but some of these artifacts are like beautiful, even though they're really creepy. So it was just trying to encompass, and it felt like we were going into this cool world and just trying to make it exciting, thrilling, a little, suspense and mystery. Like, what are we about to see?
mm,
So yeah, it was overall just informed by the visuals of the main title.
yeah. And what do you think the sort of, if you would encapsulate in a couple of sentences, what does the main title sequence, music and images say about the show?
I think it shows you're about to go into a very interesting world. It's mysterious, it's thrilling, it's scary, and it's beautiful all at the same time.
Yeah, I like it. You are nominated for an Emmy for main title theme music. So that's so exciting. Congratulations, Ollie.
Yeah.
What does that mean to you, that nomination?
Oh, it's surreal. I still am trying to wrap my head around it. It's very, very cool. Just getting to work on that show and getting to work with Guillermo del Toro, who I just adore,
Mm.
was surreal in itself and just a wonderful experience. And then to have an Emmy nomination happen out of that is even more surreal. So it's pretty exciting. It's pretty cool. And a lot of times horror, I feel like gets overlooked for these types of awards. So to see the show do really well at the Emmys and for me to get nominated, it's very, very cool.
Mm. Do you do you have a favorite, like, from TV history? Do you have a favorite main title theme music piece?
I love the Twilight Zone.
Oh, that's good.
So, and there you go. It's an anthology series with a lot of horror going on. So,
Yeah.
yeah, so that again, I grew up just loving the Twilight Zone. So, again, getting to be a part of this was kind of my Twilight Zone moment, and it was very cool.
Yeah. What do you think, like, TV themes do for a show?
I think they set the tone. And that was something I wanted to do. I wanted to hopefully write a theme that when people hear it, they're very excited and like the show's starting. Like I want it to be that thing that calls you in from the kitchen because your show is about to start, and something that would be synonymous with the show. So I think a great theme will do that. Yeah, and there's so many good famous ones.
Yeah. What did you like when you had the visuals of the theme too for the main title theme? What part of that, what was your favorite visual in the main title theme?
Yeah,
Yeah, like
I loved. They turn a key. It's kind of in the middle of it, and it opens another door, and there's like a swirl of bones and skulls, and that was my favorite part. I got very excited about that.
And okay, so with that bit sort of being the bit that you're most excited about, them opening this kid, opening a new sort of section of the cabinet or whatever, or opening this whole new thing, what bit of music did you want to accompany that bit? Like, what were you thinking about the music to go with that bit?
So there, I felt like we needed a burst of energy, kind of. I even had I wrote myself notes, and I was like, "Swirl of skulls" or whatever you would call it,
Yeah.
energy boost. So kind of when we start, it was mysterious, kind of going through the hallway and seeing these things, and we opened that up, and just that visual, it felt like it needed a big energy boost. So I upped the tempo. I added in some low percussive kind of sounding strings and instruments to just kind of give it a boost of energy, which was fun.
Oh, that's cool. Now you said you hadn't watched the show or the episodes when you were writing the theme. Have you had time to watch the episodes now? You've seen the
Oh,
show? Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. I've watched them. I've watched them several times, I
Yeah.
think. So the morning it came out, I was up at 5 a.m. and I just turned it on. I was so excited to watch the show finally.
What was your favorite episode?
My favorite one was probably the murmuring, because I love a good ghost story. And I just thought that one was really well done. It was haunting. That was a very good example of the beauty and the terror kind of working really well together. But there were so many good ones. I love them all. Yeah.
And what do you think the most sort of special thing is about this series and about this show?
Wow, I think the talent that came together for this, that Guillermo brought all these amazing directors and writers and actors, and every episode is so different from the next to the next, but they're all so fantastic. Production design is amazing. Everything, it's a very well done, well crafted show.
And what do you think Guillermo brings to sort of storytelling and yeah, what does he bring to storytelling that we see in this show?
I think I mean, he's just brilliant. Honestly, from my conversation with him, he's smarter than all of us, I'm pretty sure. He's very musically inclined. Obviously, he's artistically inclined. I just think, and I think he brings a depth and a sense of emotion to everything. Even if it's super terrifying at one moment, he's breaking your heart at the next, I feel like. Yeah, he's a very visual storyteller. I think auditory too. Is that what you would say? Like the
I
sound
think so. Yeah.
and the music in his movies are always amazing too. Yeah, he's just a feast for the senses, I guess. Yeah.
Did he give you any direction for the theme music and
He
what he's looking
did,
for? Like,
yeah. I wrote a demo for it originally. So we met and played through my demo. We met over Zoom, and I originally had an A theme that was like my main theme, and then we got to the swirl of skulls part. I kind of inverted that theme, which I called the B theme, and he stopped me right there, and he goes, "That's our theme. Use that." So because of him, that became the main theme that got used.
Oh.
Yeah, and he had a lot of great input. He's very, very musically inclined. So he shaped it into what it is, and it's way better because of him.
What was important to him with the theme?
I think he liked like a melodic theme too, you know, because he asked me to bring it back again at the very end when the doors are closing and the violin is really high and repeats it one last time. Like he asked me to do that. And then the prologues, where he comes out and introduces each episode, that came later. They asked me to use the main title theme and underscore it on all those prologues. So that kind of made it more part of the whole show, I think, and grained it a little bit more into the series, which was really cool.
Yeah. Well, that's really the only other constant in the thing. So it's nice that you're a part of that too.
Yeah,
The real one
is.
thing, like I guess other than conceptual constants and like, you know, thematic sort of the constants that might run throughout.
Yeah.
They all sort of are horrors, and they all have like, it's often a moral sort of quandary that comes up around them and things. But in terms of just sort of constants, in terms of something that is the same, it's him introducing the episode and the theme. What Holly made you want to get into writing music for television and doing TV themes?
You know, I loved film scores as a kid. Like that was like my favorite music to listen to. I actually have like, you know, when you're in like grade school and you fill out a paper like what's your favorite color, and I think it was from the second grade, it said what's your favorite music, and I wrote movie background music. I didn't know what to call it back then. But it was like my favorite, so I always wanted to do it. Yeah, I've done a lot of films. I love TV themes. On a side note, released an album this year of famous it's covers of TV themes. Well, actually, I finished it a couple years ago before I even got hired on this. But they're TV themes from the 50s and 60s, and they're done in a tiki exotica style. So they're really weird and really kitschy. But it's kind of funny. I did that just for fun a couple of years ago, not knowing I'd actually get hired to do a TV theme like a year or two later. So anyway, I like them. They're fun.
What was the most challenging TV theme to do in sort of tiki style?
Mr. Ed. It didn't lend itself well to tiki. Some of them were like I Dream of Jeannie and Gilligan's Island, perfect to tikify. But Mr. Ed, I love the show, so I'm like, I'm going to try it. And I was like, I don't know if that worked, but it's on there. So.
Oh, I love it. Oh, it's so good. And I do think like it's interesting because like music can enhance visuals so much. But I think like it works the other way around too, where visuals enhance music. And I know, you know, if a song is used particularly well in a TV show or a film, I'll love that song for like the next couple weeks. It was a song that I'd heard before and I thought was okay, but didn't love. I'll all of a sudden love that song and start like just re-listening to it for the next couple of weeks. So what do you think the power is that visuals bring to music?
Yeah, it's such an interesting art form because that's what like film scoring is like. We are guided by the visuals first and foremost, you know. But you're right, the marriage between the two is just amazing sometimes. Like for me, I'm always inspired by the visuals, like mostly, you know, obviously the storytelling and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, and same thing, I'll watch something and a song will come on and it just works so amazing. And you always associate that with that show from then on, kind of. And I mean, how magical is that?
Yeah. And I think like they sort of serve each other. And I think you're right also that story, like and music work so well together. Because I guess it's not just the visuals, it's within the context of the story, that music coming in at the right moment really move you. And I guess with the theme music for Curiosities, I feel like a story is also told in that theme as the cabinet opens and you see all the different things, you go down the different paths and things. What story do you think like that's telling, like, or serving?
It's interesting because it is kind of in like 3 sections, you know, and I
Mm.
think I got that from the visuals. You know, the cabinet opens, we're going in, like, what are we about to see? It's very mysterious. When we open up the scroll of skulls, it's like kind of crazy, like we've just taken it up a notch. And then we kind of start going down this cave and we see all the bookshelves coming up, and then, you know, they close. So it's like we've traveled into it and kind of gotten a glimpse of what we might see in the cabinet. And then as the doors close, we're ready for the story to be presented to us, I feel like. Yeah, they did a really cool job with that.
Yeah. And yeah, I guess what do you hope is remembered about this show as people look back on Cabinet of Curiosities? What do you think, like, it's sort of like, what do you hope stays with people as they,
Yeah, watch it. I
yeah,
hope
as
that
they
they're
watch it?
scared, first and foremost, but I hope they enjoy it and they remember some of the stories. And like you said, a lot of them have kind of a moral lesson that might stay with people. I hope it's something that people want to rewatch, like every Halloween, maybe, that it becomes kind of a timeless classic. Yeah, I hope for that. And that they remember how well it was all made, you know, the craftsmanship to all of it.
Yeah. Well, Holly, thank you so much for talking to us today. So appreciate your time, and all the best of luck with the upcoming Emmy Awards. It's really nice. It's not just you that's nominated for main title theme. There's a bunch of other nominations for Academy of Curiosities, including main title design. So we've got
Yeah,
visuals and the music for that main titles recognized by the Emmys. So it's nice that they're together. And
yeah,
all the
that
best.
was very cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And people watching this, you can go to goldderby.com to make your own awards predictions and get involved in the forums, discussing who you think's up, who you think's down, all that sort of thing. And yeah, Holly, just really appreciate the time today. Thanks so much.
Sure. Thank you so much.